And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick review of mechanics. We're going to hit the very important stuff. You should really know all of this already. This first problem that we're going to work is actually out of your book, but we're going to talk about it and just make sure that we are ready to go with our strength of materials. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at a review of our reaction forces. And this will be important because we'll be breaking down many complex systems over the course of the class. And we're going to have to draw a lot of free body diagrams. And so one of the important things with a free body diagram is knowing how reaction forces work. And so the first one we have here is just a cable. And the couple things to note about a cable is a cable can only have force in one direction, and that's along the cable. Cables can only be in tension, never compression. And so all we're going to have to worry about is if we have a cable connection is that we've got this one force only going along the wire. Second thing is a roller. We'll see this in a lot of the problems. A roller is basically a spherical contact point, which means that the roller itself contacts the floor in one point, and usually in our context we'll be looking at it in beams. So we're going to have one force orthogonal to the beam. So if we ever have an angle of smooth support, once again it's just going to be a one force because it is a one point contact, so there's only going to be one force on it. And that force that we're going to have is going to be orthogonal to the surface. It'll be a 90-degree connection. And then what we have here is these three over here we are going to see a great deal in this class. The first one is a external pin. The only difference between an external and an internal pin is where it's located. So an external pin will be at the end. It'll be the last thing that we have. And we're going to have two forces. We are going to have a force in the y direction, a force in the x direction. Because it is a pin, it is free to swivel about that point. So there is no moment restricting that, just two forces. Same thing if we have an internal pin. So if I've got two beams that are connected by a pin, we have the same issue or the same theme on the pin, a force in the y direction, a force in the x direction. But it is a pin. It is free to move around, so it can swivel, so there is no moment associated with that. And the last one is a fixed the last one is a fixed support. We will see this a lot in cantilever beams. And what we have going on there is we still have this y and the x force on the beam, but since the beam can bend down, what we have is we have a moment that will counteract what's going on in the beam. So anytime that we have a fixed support, have an x, a y, and a moment. So three unknowns.